Computer, show me two guys with the little keyblade swords fighting each other. Computer, show me those same two guys fighting with the keyblade swords, but their shirts off. Computer, show me Sora and Riku make it out.
Welcome to Simple and Clean, a Kingdom Hearts podcast. I'm Mischa Stanton.
And I'm Mayanna Berrin. Was that an okay intro?
Mayanna, how do you feel about computers?
I like them.
Do you?
I like them. I think I have a complicated relationship with computers now because I think as a child, I was like, computer, fun square. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, computer, work square.
I'm halfway between computer work square and computer horror square.
Yeah, that part. I think that computers are they're a window, a gateway into a broader world. They are a way that many people need to conduct business. They are, I would say, about as necessary as having a car or having a home. Mm-hmm. You know, I think that you need access to a computer to function for most things in life. And granted, there are people who live without technology or live with limited access to technology. But I think that most communication, most information, a computer is usually a part of that now. Yeah,
in 2026, we've definitely rebuilt our society around the computer.
Absolutely.
I would say.
Yeah, and while we see a resurgence in physical media, things like magazines, books, CD players, I think in general, we still very much live in a digital forward world, and computers are at the center of that.
Yeah, and of course, without no computers, there'd be no video games.
Yeah, all video games are essentially made on computers.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm trying to think of any weird roundabout justification. I guess you could make like a paper video game.
I don't even know if you can. I don't think it would be a video game at that point.
Yeah, well, have you seen the people who make like cardboard Game Boys?
Ooh, no, that sounds neat.
It's really cool. Like there are people who've made like Flappy Bird, or like, again, very limited versions, like a Flappy Bird or a Mario, where you have it on spinning like paper dials on like a side scroll thing. But again, they're not vast. They're very linear in what they're capable of doing. And I think that's the closest any of us are ever going to get without touching a computer.
That's very true. So you work pretty closely with computers, you would say?
I would say I interact with my computer for hours a day, pretty much every day.
What do you imagine is going on in there?
So I have my D&D homebrew answer to this, which is I've built a little adventure that I hope to run someday about what it's like living inside a computer.
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's called Get a Life. I hope that someday I can make it in some form. I'm very excited about it. But like, there have been, like Code Lyoko, where it's like a whole virtual world. There's Tron. There's all of these different interpretations of it. But like on its face, what it is you power it up. You have a background with a bunch of things on it.
No. But in your mind, what's going on in there?
What be do going on in there? I think it do be going number go beep boop beep 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 number 0011 beep boop 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 boop. And I think that I had this idea for a short film a long time ago, which was like, what is the inside of an iPod feel like when someone's trying to play music? And I imagined it as like a little guy in a little suit who's like putting little records on something and like developing an understanding of the listener's taste and trying to like, I personify it. I think my vibe is very similar, and I think that's why I vibe with Disney so much in their attempts to personify things. I personify computers as like a little person that is running around doing little work.
Sure. So it is a little Tron.
100%. A little Tron, a little Severance, a little Day at the Office, a little Wreck-It Ralph. Like, all right, guys, the arcade's closed. It's
for sure.
all of that. What about you?
I imagine just like large stack pillars, just like full of
The
data.
RAM, yeah.
Well, and of course, it took me a minute because like I have this notion, and in my mind, it's got like, cinematography. There's like depth of field happening. There's like an intense fog. The lighting is very moody. And I'm like, where did this image of the computer as this like holy stack archive come from? Oh, it's the visualizer from when you turn your PS2 on.
Oh, yeah.
With all the towers.
Oh, yes. It's...
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other one, too, that I think of is the Digimon movie, which then just got remade by the same guy into Summer Wars.
Yes,
where
I
it's
love
like,
Summer Wars.
I love Summer Wars. But yeah, it's like a white void filled with colorful little stuff in the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny that like we have to come up with all of these, fanciful depictions of data.
Yes.
Because it's just fundamentally not like an interesting visual experience.
No.
Today, I want to talk about data in Kingdom Hearts.
Hell yeah.
Data holds its own place in Kingdom Hearts as this concept that gets interacted with again and again.
Yes.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we really didn't need was more things.
Yeah.
And yet, here they are.
Yeah, right? It's like, well, we have Disney stuff and Keyblades and magic and also computers.
Yeah, and then, but it did give us one of the best quotes in all of Kingdom Hearts history, which is, Riku, oh no, they put bugs in him.
Yeah. I forget about that line sometimes. And then I remember. Yeah. So obviously, of course, I did a deep dive into this concept because I am eventually going to do a recap of Kingdom Hearts Coded.
The game that time forgot.
The game that all the fans forget.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, it gets a worse rap than it deserved.
Yeah, it's just like the same.
It's like
others.
First verse, same as the first, or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but in order to really recap Coded, you have to understand the story concept that is data.
Hell yeah.
So what is data?
Well, what's interesting is because we're, one of the core things in Kingdom Hearts is memory.
Yes.
It's the digitized version of memory.
Yes. And it's quantized, right? It's discrete packets of memory.
Yes.
It's a memory that is a discrete little thing in and of itself that can then be moved and transferred and copied.
Yes.
And you can do stuff to it.
Yes.
That's what data is. It's manipulable reality.
Malleable.
But also all characters in Kingdom Hearts do understand that data, or that like data simulations are on some level not real.
Right. Which we see very viscerally in Kingdom Hearts 2, even before we understand that data is a part of it, is just this virtual prison that Roxas has found himself in.
Yeah. But there's still a respect that the narrative gives to data constructs. It's like, just because they were fabricated, just because they weren't like of woman born.
Yeah. Of woman born. That's amazing. Of woman born. I love that.
There was a time in my life where I was a professional Shakespeare maker.
Oh my God, that's right. Wow, I love that. Well, that, and then we also, as a part of that, we also have clones, and we have a lot of things in Kingdom Hearts about, even though you were made not of woman born,
right,
you are valid and you exist. Yeah.
Actually, that I found fascinating. Data as a concept in Kingdom Hearts, it's not really around in Kingdom Hearts 1.
No.
It's not really around in Chain of Memories.
No.
It pops up in Kingdom Hearts 2.
To start with,
where we start talking about how much do you need to be like the original to be real.
Yeah.
Nobodies are that. And so they also introduce data as a concept at the same time that becomes a conceptual foil for that thing.
I will say this too. I think the reason why, one, because they probably hadn't thought of it yet, and two, you can't really talk about data or digitized fake copies of things until you've created a foundation on what is a memory, what is a person, what does it mean to fall to darkness. Like you need to build up in your world building, you need to build up how you feel about the legitimacy of those ideas to then talk about something more than that, which in this case is like the digital world where copies of things exist.
Yeah. So I found that to be like a fascinating little parallel.
I love that.
So how does data present in the games?
Great question.
It's presented as infinite downward, but not upward. And what I mean by that is like there is a difference between a data world and a physical world.
Yes.
They're, like in the games that like worlds can be made of data, worlds can be created out of static data. But the one huge difference there is that like, but you can't fly a gummy ship to a data world.
Yeah.
You have to go into a world and then into their matrix to get to the data. Like there's one layer down you have to go.
I would also wager that you can't conjure a world that doesn't exist in the physical world out of data. That data can only ever exist because something else exists in the physical world.
That is not true in Kingdom Hearts,
Ooh.
nor in wider Disney canon because of the grid. A digital frontier.
Yeah.
So the grid is made entirely out of data. It's not based on any real world construct. And it exists in Kingdom Hearts. So yeah, but you can't access the grid from your gummy ship. You have to go into Radiant Garden
and
to
then
get to
into
Space
the grid.
Paranoids. The only reason you can get to the grid in Dream Drop distance is because it's a sleeping world, but you can't get there from a gummy ship. It's not like connected to wider space either.
Yes, you're right. You have to go into a door to go into another door.
Right.
Right.
Despite being in some ways fake, quote unquote fake, like not real in a sense, data in Kingdom Hearts can contain real things.
Oh, yeah, right. Yes.
Like, for example, when there's an entire data reconstruction of Twilight Town, Diz puts real Roxas in there like a prison.
And he inhabits it and experiences it as real.
Yeah.
He eats food in there.
It is until it starts glitching, indistinguishable from reality, a la The Matrix.
Yes. I like The Matrix. Do you like The Matrix?
I do like The Matrix. I'm actually a big Matrix fan.
Yeah.
I'm on record as really liking The Matrix 2.
I think that's fine. I think we need to all have a little more fun in this life.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about data and we're talking about digital worlds and putting real things in digital things. We're going to be talking a lot about The Matrix today.
We're going to have to because it was really a pivotal piece.
Yeah. Would you rather me talk about Jean Baudrillard's Simulacra and Simulation?
Whoa.
Because I could just reference The Matrix instead.
That honestly, and that's probably, yeah.
I really would rather.
That sounds great.
Another example of real things getting hidden inside digital constructs actually happens in Union Cross.
Oh.
And we are going to be talking a lot about Union Cross today.
That was not what I was expecting based off of this episode's premise.
At the end of Kingdom Hearts Key, the first game in that series, what ends up happening is that a secret order of Keyblade wielders called the Dandelions sort of get to like, the group was created in secret so that they could exist after the end of the Keyblade War. And where they end up hiding for the end of the war is
Data.
They hide inside a data world.
Come on. Okay, I'll say this. I feel like the broader Kingdom Hearts games that are all the prequels feel to me like when a kid is trying to establish the rules for their outside play imagination time.
100,000%.
Where they're like, the tree is home, but it's also the core of the universe, and the playhouse is the castle, but the castle got taken over by Leo when he was visiting last summer, and so now he's not here this summer, so the ghost of Leo is still in charge of the castle trio. So we got to go in there. We got to go during nightfall because then the ghost is asleep.
That's exactly what it's like. Wow.
But
That's
anyway,
really solid.
they're hiding in the dandelions. They're hiding in the data world.
The dandelions get hidden inside a data world in order to escape the end of the world.
Amazing.
Another thing about data is that it's like governed by the rules of a simulation.
Yes.
Which are then manipulable by users from the outside. You know, so in Tron, like the Tron world exists, but a user, that's what they call humans in Tron. The user's Kevin Flynn, a character in Kingdom Hearts inexplicably.
Yes. And also Ansem the Wise.
Yes, also Ansem the Wise is a user.
That's the name of my user.
Yes.
I don't know why that line is burned into my memory.
No, but yeah. So users can manipulate the system from the outside, can change the rules, can do things outside the rules that will affect the quote-unquote physical reality of the datascape.
Which, for the people who live inside of it, that is all they know.
Concerning.
That is their world.
Yeah. And these data simulations, data worlds, another thing that makes them different than real world, they start in res.
Oh.
Like, so for example, in Kingdom Hearts Coded, it's not like Data Sora was born a baby and then grew up for 14 years.
He just pops out and it's Data Sora, 14
He springs
years old.
fully formed from the brow of Zeus.
Yes. My favorite way to be born, personally.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it for everyone.
I like Zeus's side.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like they spring into existence fully formed and knowing nothing, or Data Sora does.
Yes.
He is instantly 14-year-old boy Sora, but doesn't know anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have any of the lived experience that makes Sora Sora, so he's just like, he's just there.
So it's also not like Data Twilight Town cannot trace its existence back hundreds of thousands of years back to the fracturing of Daybreak Town. Or whatever.
Data Twilight Town wasn't built with real bricks.
Right. It was just like it sprang into existence.
It just popped out. Yeah.
Yeah. And so any characters, any stories that, for example, in the Data version of like Alice in Wonderland, like it's not like, Alice went to school yesterday. Like, reality starts at the beginning of the movie.
Do you think that it kind of feels like what happens in, like, I haven't seen Don't Worry, Darling, but I've seen a couple clips of Don't Worry, Darling, where she, like, is having dinner with them, and it's like, isn't it crazy that we all met our husbands, like, at school in Massachusetts?
Yeah.
And where were you before Massachusetts? Name other states besides Massachusetts. Like, I'm not exactly quoting it correctly, but
no, that's right. Well,
yeah.
I actually recently just watched Ghost in the Shell, the movie, for the first
God.
time. So for this episode, not really.
Not really, just because you're Mischa Stanton, and that's what you get up to.
I do.
You watch Ghost in the Shell.
I watch Ghost in the Shell. So there's a character in Ghost in the Shell as they're trying to solve this case. This dude keeps thinking he's doing a thing for his wife and kids, and then they arrest him and they take him in. They're like, oh, yeah, we're so sorry to inform you. Those are fake memories and those people never existed.
Yeah, it's also very Blade Runner.
Yes.
It's giving Blade Runner, yeah.
Right. There is some amount of that in Kingdom Hearts. It's not like an overt thing much outside of like the Data Twilight Town at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2. Like Encoded, like we're all pretty aware that like it's Data over there.
It's a
like
virtual world, yeah.
There is some more of that questioning reality stuff between Data and real life in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross.
Jesus. Oh my God.
I'm getting there.
Oh my God.
Do you like the ramp up? Do you like the build up?
I'm excited. I'm on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
We're about to go up to the top.
One last bit about Data is that it can be copied.
Yes.
That you can make copies of things and then you can then make copies of those copies. You're not really spending a resource to make copies of stuff. Like in Kingdom Hearts, it really is like an infinite Matryoshka doll downwards. Like there is you can keep going down forever. There's no limit to how many worlds within worlds within worlds can exist in Data in Kingdom Hearts.
I have a thought on this, but I'm going to say that for Act 3.
Okay. Got it. There's also an interesting tie between Data and books.
Yeah.
In that, like, when you think about it, books are static data and like computer data is like, what if you could move things around in it?
Yeah, because it's like when you make a copy of a book, that's still the same book.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So there is that tie, especially in Kingdom Hearts Coded, where they take the journal and then they digitize it.
Yes.
And inside there is whole worlds. But again, like when they do it, there's bugs. That's the whole point of Kingdom Hearts Coded is that when they do it, there's bugs. So like Data is... You can copy it, but it might not come out perfect. It's susceptible to corruption.
Which also makes sense because it's like if you try to copy a book, the printer might fuck up. The ink might get weird.
The bit translation. Do you know about the guy who beat the Mario speedrunning record because a cosmic ray hit the platter of the hard drive of the GameCube he was using?
No.
That caused an impossible glitch at the exact right bit and like led him to a speedrunning record?
That's crazy.
That's a real story.
I was thinking about how today I needed to deposit cash at the bank and I didn't want to talk to a person, so I went to the outdoor kiosk and I put the little money in the little slot. And I was like, how the fuck does it know how many bills I just put in? And it knows.
Yeah.
And then in fact, it went like, here was a bill I couldn't read. And it spit back out a 5 that was bent slightly. And I was like, it could have fucked up. In this case, I don't think it did.
Right. I mean, in our real world, also, we have systemic redundancies to avoid this. But, like, imagine in Kingdom Hearts that, like, when those bills were digitized, that, like, the bentness of the 5 made it into the simulation.
Yes. Yeah. And then it's like, that's an exact copy.
Yeah.
Of the thing. Yeah.
Yes, but like the error can make its way in there, and which is dangerous when you're simulating realities.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It's also like it makes you look at the wonder of technology. It's like worlds within worlds.
Yes.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But it has that fundamental disconnect from the sky, which makes me think of, there's... I love Futurama. This is not a thing that would have come up on this show yet. There's a line in Futurama where they go down into the sewers and they talk to the sewer mutants. And they're like, well, maybe you guys are just in the sewer of an even greater civilization above you. And Fry goes, nah, we got the sky and everything.
Yeah.
No, there is a level where one does not have access to the sky and one does.
Ooh.
And that's sort of the dividing line there.
Wow. One of my coworkers told me about when they were playing Elden Ring and they went down like an elevator to a part of it and then they come out and they're like, oh, I'm underground, but they have their own sky. And I was like, whoa,
dude.
And they told me, they're like, that was the moment when I was like, oh, Elden Ring's doing something very interesting.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is dope. Yeah.
That seems so dope. I wish I could access any of it. I'm not that good at video games.
I know. Well, one of the things I will say about Elden Ring is they give you more buffs. They give you more abilities to fight. But I've never touched a From Software game. I love what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I don't think I will ever engage with it just because I don't play video games for that reason.
Yeah, like with the utmost respect from a storyteller and obviously like a narrative analyst perspective, yes. I'm not that good at video games.
I'm not that good at video games.
I'm just not. I'm sorry.
I'm too slow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, where does data appear in Kingdom Hearts?
Yes.
We start with Kingdom Hearts 2. The first time we're really focusing on data, very beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2, because it takes place in a data simulation of Twilight Town.
Yes.
A one-to-one copy that Diz has made in a data center in the basement of the old mansion in Twilight Town. The data exists, like there's servers. Like
it's a whole computer room.
It exists on the Hearts.
It's very futuristic.
In fact, every time there's a data world in Kingdom Hearts, you can point to where the servers are.
Yeah.
When you think about it. As we go through.
Absolutely.
What I find most interesting in the data version of Twilight Town, like data Twilight Town, whatever, what's really interesting about that concept, of course, is data, Hainer, Pence, and Olette, exclusively in that order. Mm-hmm. The fact that, like, you made a copy of someone with one fundamental difference, and that difference is they have a fourth friend.
Yeah.
Which makes them separate people immediately.
Because they have different memories and a different experience that is unique to them.
Exactly.
Yes.
I've talked about this concept too in various past talks I've given about time travel, where like from a certain perspective, the minute you travel backwards in time, you're displacing air molecules you would not have displaced, you're bending blades of grass that would not have been bent. Like there's nothing you can do to avoid changing the past once you're there.
100%.
The minute you change one tiny thing, that creates an entirely separate person.
And I would say more importantly, it changes you. Once you've traveled back in time, even if you travel back to the moment in which you traveled back in time, you are fundamentally different forever.
Yeah. You have knowledge you would never have been able to acquire. Yeah. I could and have done other podcasts about time travel. Yeah. I refer you to them. This is not about that.
No, yeah.
But the same is true of Data Hainer, Dana Pence, and Data Olette. Hold on. This is hard to say.
You got this.
Data Hainer, Data Pence, and Data Olette exclusively in that order.
There you go.
Nailed it.
It's almost Dana sometimes, but you nailed it.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
So the fact that they are different people and that they are changed by their relationship with Roxas makes them whole people.
Yes.
That they have to philosophically confront what happens to their friend when this supernatural event beyond their control happens to him. Like, they have feelings about what Diz is doing to Roxas.
Yeah.
Even though they can't affect any of it.
The other thing that's strange about that, too, is so when Sora wakes up in Kingdom Hearts 2 and Sora meets Hainer, Pence, and Olette exclusively in that order and leaves on the train and has that moment where he cries because Roxas's heart is inside of him and he remembers him. He's actually not even mourning the three people in front of him.
No.
He's mourning three different people that exists in a different reality that he knows and cares for.
Yeah, the fact that they share names and faces and 99% of their memories doesn't change the fact that they are separate people.
Yeah.
If you're in the Multitude universe, you may have heard that one of our fellow co-hosts, Isabel J. Kim, just put out a book, Sublimation, that is about this very topic. You should check it out.
Ooh,
that's just a free plug for our friend Isabel Kim.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for writing a book.
It's a good, honestly, good book. I read it.
I love that.
After we leave Data Twilight Town behind because it has served its purpose, it still exists in that basement, but once we leave, at the end of Kingdom Hearts, we come back to it because a portal is in it that we need to go somewhere else, but we don't really see if the data versions of those folks continue to exist. After that, they're just sitting in that computer in the basement of the mansion?
Yeah.
They just live there now?
It's also kind of spooky because, like, when you awaken as Sora and you move through Twilight Town, it feels like you've been there before.
Yeah.
But you actually haven't been to that version of Twilight Town, even you as the player, because the version of Twilight Town you interact with in the tutorial is the data version. And then when you walk around as Sora, even though it is identical, that is a different version of Twilight Town, the real one.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Matrix, simulacra and simulation. It's crazy. The next portion of the game where we interact with data is much more distinct and like you're very clear which one is which. It's Space Paranoids.
Yeah.
Because they put my boy Tron in there.
My boy Tron, my light cycle boy.
And it's cool because, like, you know, there is some amount of, like, you go outside to the terminal and you type some things and it changes what happens inside.
Yeah.
The physical stuff you do on the inside changes how, like, the computer system functions on the outside.
Well, and visually, it's the most virtual anything has ever looked because it was made in the 80s and they really wanted you to know it was virtual. It feels out of time, out of space, out of everything because it needs to feel that way.
Yeah, this is the most straightforward, like, data is data and the real world's the real world and they can function and interact and even be friends, but they are two different things.
Yeah.
And then after that, there's one more time that we really confront data in the story of Kingdom Hearts 2, and that is with Ansem the Wise's Kingdom Hearts encoder.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh yeah,
the connecting thing about the Data Twilight Town and Space Paranoids is that Ansem the Wise made both of them.
Yes,
he based Space Paranoids on Kevin Flynn's grid somehow.
So crazy.
He used his knowledge making that world to create the replica of Twilight Town, and in his hubris, he said, "I'm getting so good at putting things in digital worlds and re-encoding things, I can put Kingdom Hearts in there, no problem."
Which is psychotic. That's like saying I'm going to put the sun in my garage.
That is exactly what it is like saying, which is why it doesn't work.
No.
He tries to turn Kingdom Hearts, the light of all worlds, into a computer program. Put it in the computer.
Put Kingdom Hearts inside the computer.
Put it in the computer.
Yeah, that's...
And
nuts.
It explodes and banishes him into the dark realm for doing so.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you try to fuck around.
Yeah,
find
Ansem
out.
the Wise is like, he really was like, wow, Kingdom Hearts is the power of all the gods, and we should cower before it, except for me. I am so smart, smarter even than the gods.
It said the smartest man who's now dead.
I know. And then there's one last little bit. It only comes up in Final Mix, and I just want to refer to it because it is referred in game as the same thing. When you, like, refight Organization 13 members that you've already defeated, there's like a weird little shrine in Hollow Bastion. You have to go down and like type into a computer terminal, and it pops out a data simulation of that organization
that
member.
You can fight to 100% the game.
Right. Yeah. When you defeat all of them, they're insanely hard battles. Like the post game of Kingdom Hearts 2 is these battles.
It's fucking brutal.
It's absolutely brutal. I have not really even attempted more than like one or two.
No, I got my ass kicked the moment I tried. And I'm like, you know what? Again, for similar to Elden Ring reasons, I'm like, I don't need to do this.
I'm just not that good at video games.
I'm not that good at video games, and I never will be.
And this is coming from someone who made a video game. So.
I know, but here's the thing. I'll say this. Like, storytelling and being good at reflexes are not the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So this is technically data. If you beat these guys, you get this thing called the Proof of Non-Existence, which contributes to you wearing a little crown.
Hell yeah. And I do love the little crown. One of the things about me is I get so mad when a cool skin makes me have to do hard stuff. And I mourn. I tried so hard to get a particular skin in Tales of Vesperia, and I got so close to getting it. And there was one particular challenge in there, and I was reading how to do it, and I was like, I guess I never will get that skin. Yeah. And then they ported Vesperia to the Switch, and they have the skin there, and I got it, and I was like, yay!
Yes! Another childhood dream fulfilled.
Child dream fulfilled! But yeah, it's like the little crown.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, baby. Little crown.
Yeah. So why did this franchise in Kingdom Hearts 2 introduce this concept of data? Why did they take this magical Disneyland and be like, also there's computers?
I think it's because they wanted to do a meta commentary on game development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely part of it. I also think that this is emblematic of a period of time, the early 2000s, the very late 90s into the early 2000s. This is a time right before smartphones were in every child's hands, kids were being raised by iPads, where we still had a wonder about the computer. Do you remember?
Yes.
Like, kids media aimed at getting kids to be computer literate.
Yeah.
It was always like, look at this computer. It's so cool.
It's magical.
Zoob zop zoobies.
Yeah, I think there was an optimism. People talk about this too, about like why were the early 2000s in video games so fixated on beaches and these tropical aesthetics. And we had this optimism about technology, this excitement, this enthusiasm, the poppy, excited Y2K era that celebrated the future.
Yeah. We wanted to give kids that idea that, like, inside this box in your living room is a whole other world.
And that's exciting, not scary, and it's simple, not complicated.
Right.
I definitely, so my parents were very anti me being engaged in certain things online. So I was never in AOL chat rooms. I was never on forums. I never played online games. I never was on MySpace. And so I didn't engage with that aspect of like early coding and early like
learning HTML for your profile page.
Yeah, I never touched that stuff. My parents were very adamant about not having me be on the internet in that way. So I played a lot of computer games, but I did not engage with the internet.
Right.
And I think it was the right decision.
As someone who didn't have that supervision and stumbled their way into those AOL chat rooms and was not supposed to be there, you made the right call. Your parents made the right call.
Good job, parents.
Oh, boy.
I know.
I saw some stuff there.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, data. But yeah, so I think you're right. I think that like there was an excitement culturally for technology and the idea of digital worlds and the capacity for vastness.
Right.
It felt infinite.
It feels infinite downward. Yeah.
But it's not.
No. Hey everybody, it's Mischa. Thank you so much for listening to Simple and Clean and Kingdom Hearts podcast. And here is a great place to say, how about that new Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, huh? I am still in shock. I can't believe there's actually news about this game. Do not worry, we are planning our reaction episode right now, and we'll have it up and out to you guys as soon as possible. Lord willing and the creek don't rise, it will be the next episode in our feed, so stay tuned. That's going to be a whirlwind turnaround for me, and the only reason I can drop everything else in my life and make that possible is because of the support of our patrons at patreon.com/simpleandcleanpod. They're going to get that episode. Well, it'll be at the same time. I physically cannot make it any faster, but they will get it ad-free, so that's pretty neat. If you help us out over there, you'll also get the secret reports, which are a secret. So if you're not a patron, don't blab about them, like I'm doing right now into this microphone. Anyway, our patrons and we have been having a fantastic time geeking out about the new trailer over there, so come join us. We really appreciate the support and the space to share our overwhelming love for this game. Simple and Clean is a part of the Multitude Podcast Collective, a place where other people who love things so much they can't stop talking about them continue to talk about them into microphones and make that into podcasts. And today, I would like to humbly recommend a show called Pale Blue Pod. Pale Blue Pod is an astronomy podcast for people who are overwhelmed by the universe but want to be its friend. Astrophysicist Dr. Moya McTeer and her best friend Constar demystify space one topic at a time with open eyes, open arms, and open mouths from so much laughing and jaw-dropping. By the end of each episode, the cosmos will feel a little less, too scary, and a lot more, oh, so cool. And they won't tell you this, but do you actually know that each episode of Pale Blue Pod takes place in a new cozy location every episode, with sound design provided by yours truly? Do the people who listen to the show know I'm a sound designer? Do they know that? Anyway, if you listen to Pale Blue Pod, you would know that. Check out Pale Blue Pod wherever you listen to podcasts. New episodes every Monday. The next place that Data really makes its punch appearance in Kingdom Hearts is Kingdom Hearts Coded.
Yeah,
a game
all about data. The data game.
Sorry, so my notes do say, in Kingdom Hearts Coded, obviously like the whole thing.
Yep.
That is a game all about data, where it's taking the book, and this is actually the first time where we see like not just a data world, but a universe of data worlds, like a world within worlds in data.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they take the journal and it creates 8 worlds out of one thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's density, baby.
Mm-hmm.
During the game, Maleficent and Pete are trying to break into the Disney castle to steal the journal so that they can have more information to rule the world. And as like a defense mechanism, the journal also pulls Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Jiminy exclusively in that order into the Data version of the room they were already in.
It's giving, whoa, whoa, whoa!
We're getting pulled into the rift! Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Scooby-Doo movie, Cyber Chase?
Yes!
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It do be like that.
It's just like that, only
really
with Mickey
is
Mouse.
like that.
And so Kingdom Hearts Coded does take place mostly in Data, but the worlds also manifest as a guy.
Yeah.
So like Data Riku in Coded is the journal.
Yes.
Which is also the worlds they're in.
Yes.
And it's him.
Hell yeah.
And all of that makes sense because it's Data.
Yes.
And Data is not real in that way.
No, it's,
you know what I mean?
It's like a different, it's like a Y2K flavored version of magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's technology magic, techno
magic.
Yeah,
because I think that like the clones as a concept in Kingdom Hearts are also kind of ethereal and magical.
Yes, but in a more physical and concrete way.
100%. In the same way that the gummy ship is. But like, yeah, yeah. It do be an Ouroboros.
Yeah, but like to get into what Data is in Kingdom Hearts Coded would be to recap the entire game, which is its whole episode.
That's a whole other
on its
episode.
own. So we'll leave it there for now to say Coded is about Data.
No way.
Yeah. From there, we're going to go to Dream Drop Distance. There's 2 instances of Data in Dream Drop Distance. One is the Tron Legacy grid is one of the sleeping worlds.
Hell yeah. Jeff Bridges, get him in there.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges, get him in there twice. One as young Jeff Bridges and one as old Jeff Bridges.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is interesting because this is the closest a Data world gets to touching the sky.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
in Hollow Bastion, Space Paranoids is like, Ansem came and copied it and put it in his computer in Radiant Garden, whatever. This is like, it's very clear that Kevin Flynn did that too, and that Kevin Flynn's like from a world.
Yes.
But we are going from the world map directly to the grid.
Yes.
And it is digital, and in the plot of that level for Dream Drop, like Kevin Flynn's in it, and they talk about the fact that he made it, but it is directly interfaceable with like the mechanism of travel in a way that breaks that rule. But also we're doing other weird dream dive stuff.
Hell yeah.
So that's all different anyway, so it doesn't
Hell
matter.
yeah.
Anyway, Tron Legacy, it's Data. It's a Data world, and you go there. I had to mention it.
Nice.
The other spot where Data is that once you kind of get to the end of the game and Riku dives into Sora's heart to wake him back up from the stuff Xehanort was doing to him through the game, when he gets in there, he like unlocks Sora's heart keyhole, dream keyhole, key lock, dream heart hole.
Hell yeah. Something darkness, something complete.
Yeah. And when he does, it enacts a simulation of Destiny Islands with Ansem the Wise standing on the beach talking to Riku.
Hell yeah.
And basically it's Data Ansem.
Ooh.
And Data Ansem says like, hey, when I was doing stuff to Sora's heart in Kingdom Hearts 2, I like bundled up all this information that I found on the Keyblade War and Terra Aqua Ven exclusively in that order, and Roxas Axel Shion exclusively in that order, and I kind of bundled it up in my research, and I left it as like a data packet inside Sora's heart for safekeeping.
Man, there's so many things they put inside Sora's heart. I thought it was just 2 girls and a boy inside that boy, but it turns out it's 2 girls, a boy, a RAM, an HTML,
an old man,
an old playlist from when you were 12,
an entire beach,
a fan fiction, several of them.
So
my old gum. Sorry, I'm done.
So Data Ansem kind of hands off this research packet, right? Like Data as a quantifiable piece of information.
Yeah,
a packet of information.
A bundle of twigs.
And it appears in the simulation as a message in a bottle.
Oh, nice.
He hands it to Riku, and Riku flies away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's kind of sick.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
Wow.
Prepare yourself.
Okay, I'm strapped in. I'm scared.
We've reached the part of the podcast where I say the next time Data comes up in the series is in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross.
Oh, man.
We got to talk about Data Daybreak Town.
Data Daybreak Town. Data Break Town.
So here's the deal with Key and Union Cross. This is the first time in the podcast I'm really laying out what the deal is.
Oh, my God.
Kingdom Hearts Key was exclusive to mobile phones in Japan.
Yeah.
And through that story, it was the story of the Age of Fairy Tales and these 5 ostensibly cooperating, but in reality competing and mistrustful unions of Keyblade wielders that all wanted to collect light before the other ones could.
Oh boy.
It's not clear even to them quite why, but animosity is created and founded, and that leads to a Keyblade war between these 5 factions of Keyblade wielders. In their foresight, the dandelions absconded too. They were like kept for safekeeping, and that they would float beyond the Keyblade War and into the future and carry on this Keyblade wielder legacy.
Cool.
And at the end of the Keyblade War in Kingdom Hearts Key or I should say, the ending of Kingdom Hearts Key that would have been the scene with the war, and then a couple of dandelions, your friends Ephemer and Skuld, come down and save Player from the end of the Keyblade War and save him.
Nice.
That didn't happen because they never released that part of the game. They never released the final episode of the game. What they did was release that information as the previously on at the start of the second game, and that's the first time we saw that scene. It's crazy.
Wow.
And then Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key and Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, which are both abbreviated KHUX, were bundled together as an app for mobile platforms outside of Japan.
Okay.
And the app was split into 2 sections.
Okay.
The Unchained Key, which is a remake of Key.
Okay.
And Union Cross, the second game.
Okay.
So in Union Cross, the world has ended, but the Keyblade War, it almost didn't happen. It's almost like a bad dream that your Chirithies try to convince you didn't really happen.
Okay.
And meanwhile, existence persists beyond what they said would be the end of the world. And that's kind of weird. And there's a few hints that as you continue to explore the Disney worlds, you're no longer doing it through the Book of Prophecies that was left behind. It's more like data backups of the Book of Prophecies. And it's slowly revealed over the course of Union Cross that what happened at the end of the Keyblade War is that Ephemer and Skull came down and saved you and the other Union leaders and whoever they could save, and data backed them up, and that the entire game of Union Cross was secretly in the Matrix. That you've been in Data Daybreak Town the whole time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool, actually.
Yeah.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
It does feel like it's kind of treading on the same narrative ground as Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yes.
But I think that's neat, and it's something that you wouldn't necessarily expect them to do.
Yeah.
But it's sort of again, now that you've opened up this Pandora's box narratively of you can just put whatever you want in there and it's safe and it's fine, that is going to be the place it's like a bag of holding.
Yeah.
It's
yes.
Yeah.
In Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, again, trying to parse this out, I'm watching one of literally 1,000 episodes of cutscenes that are 2D chibi with no voiceover,
which is a feat.
I'm trying to parse this out. I think what I've learned for this is that the 5 rival unions, the Keyblade War, all of it was orchestrated by the Master of Masters by seeding mistrust amongst his apprentices, so that when the evil primordial darknesses come out of hiding and are drawn towards the mistrust and hatred of the conflict, and the rest of the world ends and the only place left is digital, that the Data Daybreak Town was a trap for the darknesses. The whole point was for all of existence to be destroyed, and the only place left be the inside of the data world, so that once the darknesses got in there, it snapped shut behind them and
they
trapped.
Could destroy it. Or just trap them there forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that the data world is just an enormous cage for the primordial darknesses.
Have you ever seen the show Mythic Quest?
Yeah.
It's like that episode with the server. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And
it's just like that.
It's just like that.
Yes.
And that's again, not the worst plan to eliminate all darkness.
No. There are some theories on the internet that Data Daybreak Town is what's inside the black box.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would...
Including the trap with the darknesses and the primordial darknesses inside it.
Oh, so if you open it, it's all coming out.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
Freaking fascinating. allows me to view the Master of Masters in slightly different way. Like,
Yeah.
okay, now it seems like, okay, he wasn't just fucking around.
No.
Like, he
had a plan.
His plan was elaborate and cruel, but it did work.
It did work, and it's one of those things that only works because you don't let anybody in on what you're planning.
Right, exactly.
Wow, I'm getting like goosebumps. That's cool.
Yeah. As we
Wow.
get further and further into Union Cross and what was going on with the Master of Masters, I think that's going to happen more and more.
Is Kingdom Hearts brilliant?
Is it good?
Yeah. I was expecting, as you were talking, to feel bad feelings, but instead I feel intrigued feelings.
Do you want to feel even more intrigued?
Please.
I'm not even done.
Oh my, I knew you weren't.
One of the big clues that keys the main characters of Union Cross into the fact that they're in a data version of the world and not the real world is that what they think is the real world starts glitching.
Yeah.
And the reason it's glitching is because another world from outside got plugged into it with a hard cable.
What the fuck?
Like someone outside the system plugged a device into the server and it manifested in the digital world as glitches.
What the fuck?
And then they chase like a heartless guy through the cable and they end up in Wreck-It Ralph's Game Central Station.
I was about to say, I'm like, this is sounding a lot like a certain movie starring John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman.
Union Cross specifically says in its text, like, this is not like the other worlds we've been simulating. This was a world from outside that got plugged into our system, and it's a separate thing.
And, I mean, by that logic, if it is Wreck-It Ralph world, that world is a digital world attached to the real world.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's a digital world that in Disney canon
is attached to the real world.
Attached to the real world.
Oh my God. They really did it. They really did it. They found a way to make it make sense.
Not only that, they made Wreck-It Ralph like
critical.
The cornerstone.
Business critical. And I'll say this, when I watched Wreck-It Ralph, because I've seen both. I like the first one.
Yeah.
When I watched Wreck-It Ralph, I was like, this is a very special sort of movie because it's doing multiple really interesting things at once, both in the Toy Story way, the virtual world way, in the real world building as virtual world way.
That movie's doing like 4 separate amazing things on top of each other.
The rules it sets up, and it all makes sense. It's all tight, and even within the context of the worlds they inhabit, those worlds are digital and have a skeleton inside of it that the digital characters can influence. Wow.
Yeah, so they have made this like the bridge between the Kingdom Hearts and the real world.
They did it.
Now, keep this in your mind as we move briefly through Kingdom Hearts 3 because this is still going to be the conversation. So
I'm on the ride.
In Kingdom Hearts 3.
I love it here.
there's two mentions of data in Kingdom Hearts 3. It's again we're doing organization replica data that you have to fight.
Of course.
When you beat them all, that's how you unlock the secret episode, the one that takes place outside in Shibuya with Yozora.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you do it by getting through all of the data. And the second place data comes up in Kingdom Hearts 3 is the data on the arcade machine where Verum Rex exists. Verum Rex, the video game.
The fake video game inside of the Toy Story world.
But also revealed to be whatever's outside of the world that Sora goes through heaven to get to. Like that's like not only is it the video game inside the video game, it's also the real world.
Yes.
So, is Verum Rex a video game or is it?
No.
Is it data? Which one is data?
Well, I mean, because when you get to that point in the game, it's a very interesting turn for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
And it's in Remind, right? The boss fight it's in Kingdom Hearts 3 or is it in Remind?
The secret boss fight at the end with Yozora on the rooftop is in Remind.
Okay, cool. So the thing that they're setting up with Yozora, who is a character you find out about in Kingdom Hearts 3, who's a video game character inside a video game that Rex, the toy dinosaur from Toy Story, is playing because Rex, canonically in Toy Story 2, loves video games.
Is a gamer. Canonical gamer.
Gamer King Rex Wallachon.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Yozora accuses Sora of like stealing his life, basically.
Yeah, well, they both sort of think the other one is a fictional character.
Yeah. because they both think their world's the real world.
Right.
And then when you fight Yuzora at the end of Remind, Yuzora wins. Right?
There's a version of the ending if you win as Sora or lose as Sora. The hero timeline and the fallen timeline.
Okay. Because the one I've seen, and I was shook when I saw it, was Yuzora wins. Sora turns into crystals and is like shattered and destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So now we come to the conclusion of all of this, which is if we're doing a fiction versus real thing and the Wreck-It Ralph data of it, video game data, is the conduit by which you get between these things, does that mean Kingdom Hearts 4 will define the realm of fiction as whatever data was on the video game disc of Kingdom Hearts that you bought?
Literally, yes.
That's so yes.
That's
so that's
100%
the conclusion.
what's going to happen. If you had asked me, Mayanna, what do you think is the most important episode we're going to do of this podcast? I wouldn't have had an answer for you, but I'm like, I don't know, probably ones where we talk about like the developers or when Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. I think this might be the most important episode of our entire podcast. And if you'd said it was the data episode, I would have laughed in your face.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, data is everything because when they take you in the meta text outside of the realm of fiction, what are you doing? You're playing a video game which is full of data.
Yes. And man, wow. Oh my God.
I'm like blowing my own mind as I say it.
I'm like, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Hold on. I need a second.
Okay.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
It's kind of incredible. I think Kingdom Hearts already as a game is such a mind fuck because you've got characters you recognize and other characters you recognize, and they're intermixing together. And the reason why that's possible is because it's a video game.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we take a step backwards and think about like, what does it mean that Kingdom Hearts is a video game?
Yeah.
And then we make a video game about that.
Yep.
I think that is, one, never been done before. As Lady Gaga says, like iconic, incredible, never been done before, trailblazer. But then to talk about, because the thing that meaningfully happens as people who play video games is video games, as all stories should, change you in some way. Mm-hmm. The real feelings you experience and the real impact video games can have on your life is felt, even though when you take a step back and you think about it, technically nothing happened.
Yeah.
But that's not true because video games are made by humans. Mm-hmm. And humans I put so much of myself into Dispatch. Even the part of it that I could influence, so much of me is in that game.
Yeah.
And all of the people who worked on Dispatch are in that game. That game is us. Mm-hmm. Kingdom Hearts is the same. And not only that, it is the legacies of animators and artists and voice actors and creators and writers and musicians. And that's just the Disney part of it.
Yeah.
And then all of that shit is real. Mm-hmm. So if Kingdom Hearts 4 or any of the Kingdom Hearts games are on some level talking about that.
Yeah, I think if this is the move, if what we're saying is like, what does it mean to have played Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Fundamentally, it means you played a video game that changed you, that like you manipulated data that changed, and the data manipulated back.
You, yeah.
If that's what Kingdom Hearts 4 is or could be about, even in a little regard, like that's kind of rad.
I would say even if it's not about that, now all of them are kind of about that.
Right.
The fact that they've put so much of this in so many of the games, again, even in a small way, but like that is what it's about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Before I leave you, I do want to confront one last thing about that.
Okay. Oh.
And that's the difference between how we saw data in 2005 and how we see data now.
Yes.
Let's talk about data in the real world.
Let's talk about data in the real world.
In Kingdom Hearts, data is an infinite well that goes downwards forever and contains worlds within worlds.
And is inherently magical.
And is inherently magical.
Regard, yeah.
In our real world, data storage is not infinite.
No, it is not.
It is finite.
Yes.
It takes real resources, physical resources, environmental resources,
water, cooling,
rare earth minerals.
Yeah.
And we are at the point here in 2026, they just announced a price hike on this generation of consoles that is unprecedented. I remember when consoles prices used to go down.
Yeah.
And now the Steam Deck just announced that it's $200 more expensive than it used to be.
Oh my God. Just the same Steam Deck, not a new Steam Deck.
Same Steam Deck. Price of parts went up. A 1 terabyte OLED Steam Deck is now about $1,000. And the reason all of that is happening is because the people who manufacture... There are not a lot of companies that manufacture...
There's only 4.
Precision computer parts at scale this way. And all of their present capacity and future capacity is being sold to mega corporations creating data centers for AI.
Yeah.
A product we're not even really sure works.
Yeah.
And yet we are... I have a private media server in my house. I've talked about this before, that I built it originally in such a way that it was expandable, that had room for future hard drives. I looked up the price of the hard drives I bought for it last night. They've over doubled in price.
How much are they now?
I bought them at $160 a piece. They're now $350.
Holy shit.
Because the company that makes them, Western Digital, sold their entire manufacturing capacity through the end of next year exclusively to data centers. And here's another thing, if they're buying it all, that means we don't have it.
No.
And that means that eventually we'll get to a point where you can't buy a computer. You'll have to rent computing power from the owners. It's another thing to rent.
Oh. We are independent creatives. I work for a video game company, but prior to that, I was a freelance writer for a bit. And my entire ability to meaningfully have any sort of career and my usage of computers is quite novice. I need a program that allows me to write words, but in order to have something that allows me to do that, the thing that is now my livelihood, I need technology. We make this show with technology.
Yeah, we do.
The reason
it's not I'm using magnetic tapes over here.
No, exactly. The reason why a lot of people, peers of ours, are able to share, connect, create, iterate, ideate, and communicate is because of the access and accessibility to technology.
Yeah.
And if that becomes something that people get priced out of, especially independent creatives, that creates a really bleak... Again, not to say that people won't be able to make things, but it'll be even harder than it already is.
I'm going to go ahead and say we're on a train to the point where nobody will own these things but people who are already billionaires.
Yeah, or people who are working for a company where the technology is provided, and then your employment makes you dependent on your access to that technology.
Yeah.
And there will be, as far as we can continue to support them, things like our local libraries, which have computers, which, continue to support your local libraries, continue to support your third spaces that allow you access to things that can help you to survive. But that is not,
that, let alone getting compute power for leisure. If data centers buy out the world's RAM production capacity, there won't be enough left for manufacturing video game consoles. So if data centers continue the way they're going, we'll never get Kingdom Hearts 4.
No. Or other things.
Right.
Other games.
Well, this is the Kingdom Hearts podcast,
yeah,
so I'm
exactly.
trying to make it, relevant for our listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be a wild swing from me, a Jew, to you, a fellow Jew.
A fellow Jew.
I would like to read a couple of quotes from a recent publication from Pope Leo XIV, the American Pope, the Chicago Pope.
Oh, the Chicago Pope.
He recently released a document called Magnifica Humanitas about the moral imperative for regulation of AI scaling and data center scaling around the world.
Wow.
This is from the Pope.
Hell yeah.
Who, listen, I'm not saying I do, but there's a large portion of the world out there that considers this guy a moral authority. So here you go.
Yeah.
He says, Ownership of data cannot be left solely in private hands, but must be appropriately regulated. Data is the product of many contributors and should not be sold off or entrusted to a select few. It is necessary to think creatively in order to manage data as a common or shared good in a spirit of participation. He says, it is not enough to invoke efficiency, nor to celebrate the benefits of innovation if they are built on a chain of exploitation that remains deliberately hidden. If technology promises emancipation, yet produces new forms of global subordination, it stands in contradiction to the fundamental principle of human dignity.
Wow. Amen.
Yeah. So we just need... but like, I really think he ate with this one.
No,
he, like...
The Pope really ate with that.
Yeah. So
whoa.
As we examine the infinite optimism and infinite depth that Kingdom Hearts' data promises us as a storytelling engine, I just don't want to lose sight from the fact that, like, data as it's used in Kingdom Hearts is not how data really works.
No.
And we should examine how data really works because it's running away from us currently right now.
Wow.
So just be aware.
Oh my God.
And fundamentally, like, what these AI products are doing is separating us from the tools that make us human, that it's doing our thinking for us, and it's isolating us, and it's separating us from expert advice by taking the form of an expert, by taking on the guise of an expert. And that separates us from actual expertise, actual human knowledge that we've spent millions of years clawing for ourselves.
Absolutely.
And Kingdom Hearts is about that connection. Kingdom Hearts as a story is about that connection. And like, these tools are a way for the owners of the means of production to separate us and divide us and take away our power. And so, like, this is I'm sorry to get really serious, but like, if you take meaning from Kingdom Hearts' story, you should be against these things. And that's where I'll leave it.
Wow.
That was a lot, and I appreciate you going with me.
No, I mean, I think we were put on this earth to do many things, right? Yeah. We were put on this earth to discover. We were put on this earth to create. We were put on this earth to cultivate, to live, to experience. And we have created a lot of incredible things because of technology. But I also think that, as Hayao Miyazaki once famously said, we have lost faith in ourselves.
Yes.
And
each other.
And I think that, like, I, for one, I value that our shared love of a video game has, jettisoned us into creating something that allows us to see each other at a clip. Like, I see my collaborators more than I see my family, I speak with the people that I make things with on a near daily basis. I love creating things with my friends, and I love the tactile physicality involved in that process. Even when I'm typing words on a computer, my discovery of what a sentence can be, my curiosity, my excitement, my dread, my anxiety, my overcoming those things, my finishing something to look at it tomorrow to completely delete it and write it over again. Technology, it gives me the opportunity to express my creativity, but it is a tool. It's not something that I want to substitute. It's something that I savor the experience of doing, the act of doing.
Yeah, data and data manipulation tools are vast and powerful and enable so much creative power, creative spirit. And it's only that, like, there are people out there that want to use that to extract literally every modicum of value possible from this earth that will drive us apart and drive a wedge between us and each other, us and this technology. Like, the technology is not bad.
No.
Like, data manipulation tools are not bad. The fact that, like, that optimism that Kingdom Hearts has about the computer wasn't wrong.
No. But I think the desire to sever the human aspect of the relationship to technology, to make it's almost like, because computers, as far as I know, are not alive. The computer is something by which we are able to express. And if that becomes a severed process where the computer is just sort of a cycle spinning about itself.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like if humans were put on this earth to create things, that includes technology. And if humans go, actually, the technology should create itself, that doesn't feel like a natural part of what humans are capable of.
Yeah. That was actually another big part of the Pope's treatise.
Yes.
That was like basically that like computers do not grow. Computers do not learn through experience. They do not understand through shared suffering. And so they should not be arbiters of human experience.
Right, because all they can be is reflections of what inputs have been placed into it, and they can't get new inputs without humans experiencing new inputs.
Right, and so
it's a copy of a copy.
Exactly. We can't allow ourselves to forego that fundamental human connection and give over our fates to the computer. And I fortunately, I think Kingdom Hearts, because of its nature as a story about growing through connection, will never forget that.
No.
So, yeah, I Data? Is that what we were talking about?
I think so. I what I said however many minutes ago stands firm. If you had told me that the Data episode of the Kingdom Hearts podcast we do was going to be probably one of the most important episodes we ever make, I would not have thought about that. I don't know what I would have thought. But I'm impressed with how interesting the utilization of that narrative aspect permeates through the series in ways that I didn't think about until just now.
Yeah. I hope to find more little bits of Kingdom Hearts like that as we continue to make the show.
Yes.
The little aspect that are like, yeah, that's there. And then you look at it and you're like, wow, that's actually incredibly thoughtful and has deeper ties than I thought.
And I think that that's the thing that consistently impresses me about this series.
Yeah.
Is I think that, like, you know, I've always had sort of in the back of my mind, it's like, man, when we get to Dark Road and Union Cross and all of these like mobile games, I'm going to feel like we're in a different country. Like I'm going to feel like we're in like a part of the map that I long to move past.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I really respect about this series and game development in general is like, if you're going to keep expanding upon it, you do have to tie it all together. And while it's a lot to tie together, I think they do tie together. And I think they build upon each other. And I think they create a really, again, bombastic, strange, weird amalgamation of the East meets West and growing up into an adult. But like, as complex as the adult world is, so is Kingdom Hearts, because those two things are the same thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Me too.
Wow. Thank you, Mischa.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This was a lot, and I'm sure it's not the last time I will be a lot on this show. So thank you for listening to Simple and Clean, a Kingdom Hearts podcast, for however long. And we'll have another frolic soon, I promise.
Absolutely.
We'll get back to frolics real soon.
No, and you know what? Again, we've said that this show is frolics and expeditions. One cannot be without the other.
True.
Wow.
True. Well, we hope you join us for frolics and expeditions in equal measure. Until next time, I'm Mischa Stanton.
And I'm Mayanna Berrin.
May your heart be your guiding key.
Woo!